I want love no more. Been married before. Here together, trying to pass the test, spreading seeds abroad, mankind just a mess. At odds with one another, lost sight of our purpose, spirits in disarray, buried beneath our surface, masquerading representatives. No fear of the one above. Traumatic indentations scarring the ones we love. Ordained from conception to care for and protect. What he gave in her from him would help us live correct. With free will in our being and it gone unchecked. Internal strife may need to wife more than one. I did select. The appointed will bring us guidance. Heed the words they say. Patiently persevering. Remembrance the only way. I'm not lost without you. With you, I went away. I want love. Hey y'all, good morning and welcome to another episode of Daddy's Right Here Live. I am your host, as always, Sabir Aline. What's going on? What's happening? What's popping? Yeah. You know what's dropping? Another episode. Oh yeah. And as always, it's a good one. It's a dandy. Yeah, it is. I was just downstairs having a conversation a minute ago, and I was saying, the 2-year-old's got a whole lot of conversation going on. She's doing a whole lot of talking and everything, and she has this thing where she's asking for help. Like she'll say, "Help me," and I say, "Here I am. I got the live mic on and downstairs making the coffee, and got the little one downstairs saying, "Help me, help me." I said, "Shit like that'll go viral, right?" On social media. Oh yeah, daddy's right here live, and the baby's in the background talking about help me, and the daddy's not doing anything. He's not online. He's not doing anything, right? Nothing at all. Nothing at all. You know. Yeah, that'll go viral real quick, right? But this video won't go viral, and the other 200 plus videos won't go viral, right? Because that's just not attractive. That's just not what it is that people seem to be interested in. People aren't interested in change. They're not interested in doing things to better their lives. They're more in line with the insanity, the chaos, the drama, right? And we tend to use the term drama queen, quite loosely, right? Because the thinking is that women are the ones who do the most gossip. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Could be further from the truth, right? It's a whole lot of dudes that sit around and all they do is talk about everybody's business. Everybody's business. They got something to say about everybody. They got an opinion about everything that everybody is doing. They're just in as much in tune with the stuff going on, the beefs going on, and in the music business and the entertainment industry. Man, they sit around and just cackle, 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 cackle. Right? That's all they do. Right? And there's no end to it. I've seen many dudes who will present themselves one way, when they're in my presence, when we're together chilling and whatnot. Then when I get around them and they're with somebody who's really the ace boon coon, because I'm not your damn friend. Let's get that clear. I have this many friends, and I mean that, and I don't have five. I have, this is about as far as I'll go. With saying someone is a friend. I don't use that term loosely. Well, yeah, I don't. They're a very small circle. I like it just that way. I like it tight because I don't have time for the extra stuff. I don't have time for the shenanigans. Because listen, any given moment, right? Yeah, I just don't have time for it, right? Because see, then I find myself in a situation I don't need to be in simply because of the fact that I got bags under my eyes, man. I've been talking about the hustle. That's the hustle. This is the hustle. I have too much invested in self to get caught up in your stupidity, stuff that's going to bring harm to me, my family, or even to a circumstance. I don't have time for that kind of stuff. I don't. I don't make time for that kind of stuff. But it's a whole lot of dudes. That's all they do, man. That's all they do. So this is about drama queens and kings, right? There are just some people, man, that's their life. That's what they do. They sit on the phone all day, every day, and talk about every damn body's life instead of their own. But there's a reason for that, right? There's a reason for that. There's a reason why they want to just sit down and keep, looking at other people's lives, because it keeps them distracted from their own twisted lives, their own unmanageability. It keeps them diverted from that, because as long as I can sit back and talk about you, I never have to talk about me. And then as soon as you say something about me, I want to get all balled up in a knot about it. I want to get my panties in a bunch, and I want to get an attitude, because what people are saying is actually the truth. There is actually the truth. You have nothing. You bring nothing to the table. Nothing. But you always got a whole lot to say. A whole lot to say. And it's a lot running around this world that have nothing. Don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it the hell out of. Yeah. Even in an abandoned city. Still don't have a window to throw it the hell out of. But you got so much room. You make room to have conversation about somebody else's life. You just make room for it. Right? Just think of the news that we watch every evening. 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock. It used to be a time when the news came on at 8, 5, and 11. Now you get your early, the late, early, the mid, early, and you watch news all day, but it's by design. It's not to keep you updated on what's going on in the community. It's to keep you focused on the narrative, right? Just imagine if the news that came on at 5 o'clock was all special interest. All of it was special interest, right? That the show came on with smiling faces, right? A birthday party. Yeah, how about that? Our birthday party. We're both parents are there. Black parents, especially. Both parents are there. They're just having a great time. They're lighting candles. They're opening gifts. They're singing songs. They're doing all those great, wonderful things. Hey, how about a community pool? Right? Yeah, we're a whole nice mix of people, multicultural kind of environment. Everybody's having a great time. Nobody's cussing each other out. That would be great news, wouldn't it? And just think if we watch that every day, as much as we do this other stuff that they put on television and they call it news, right? Just think for a minute what the world would be like. And that the real special interest story would be, damn, Bob is retiring. He's closing up the shop. You know, Bob's store was there for about 67 years. Yeah, Bob used to open up his store at 6 o'clock in the morning, catch the kids coming to school, right? Selling them the penny candy. Oh, he would just have wonderful conversations with them every single day. He would stand outside on the pavement and greet them, and they would go into the store with their little pennies, and they would come out so happy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Bob has retired fully. Right? He's no longer with us. That would be a real special interest story, wouldn't it? Yeah. But what is the first thing you see when the news comes on? In the news, 22 dead, 14 injured. Yep, right up the street from your house. Damn. And I got to live with this every day. You got to remind me about what's happening up the street. Hey. Now, mind you, what happened up the street actually had about 35 people out there. One person got shot. There were no witnesses. There were no witnesses. None. Isn't that amazing? 30 people standing right there. 99% of the damn world has a phone, but none of these 30 people had a damn phone. You know some shit? But when they picked the body up off the ground, what did they find underneath of him? He had a phone. And what kind of shit is that? He had a phone. The other 29 didn't. But the conversation from that moment forward, they didn't have to do that to him like that. Y'all need to stop this. We need to march. We need to march because this is enough is enough. We can't, the police need to do something. The mayor needs to do something. It's the shenanigans, man, that continue to go on. And it doesn't just happen in the black community. I live in the black community, so I can only mock and imitate those things that I see that happen in the black community. But it happens in all communities. It happens in all communities, right? You go to everywhere we go, right? There's always a confrontation of some sort. People are arguing because you didn't give me enough ketchup on my fries. People are jumping over counters, beating up people because they just you didn't give me extra ketchup. Like, didn't I tell you? Like, how? Just look at the mindset. Who are you to talk to somebody that way? Why do you think it's okay to talk to somebody in that way? It's driving you to have that kind of behavior, to have that kind of conduct? Who are you? What is wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with you when it comes to you giving an explanation as to what just happened. It's always the other person. See, if she'd have just gave me the extra pack of ketchup like I asked for, I wouldn't have to be standing here yelling for an extra pack of ketchup. Every day, you talk to James. What is he talking about? Oh, man, you know, they ain't doing nothing, man. They ain't them dudes still out there, you know, on the corner, man, you know, just, you know, drinking that wine. And, you know, they ain't got nothing going on with their life, man. They ain't trying to do nothing, man. I get up, I go to work every day, where I take care of mine, you know. And man, his kids, they don't even have no new shoes. He walking around sporting some Jordans, right? The new Jordans, right? And, you know, they barely got food in the house, man. And then he got that old raggedy behind car. He got that old raggedy behind car, man, that he been driving for the last, 10 years and stuff like that, man. And he been at that job, I don't know how long, man. They don't pay him no money there, man. I told him, you need to get a job, that's making some money, right?
Ain't doing nothing, man. Nothing at all, man. You know. Yeah, I would, man. I was out. I was out. With the other boys. We was chilling at the club. Picking up some girl. You know what I'm saying? My mom keep getting on me about getting this leak fixed that down here in the basement, right? Because it started to get some mold down here. She don't want me down here in the basement. Sucking in all that mold. You know what I'm saying? That ain't cool. I don't know what's wrong with mom, why she didn't take care of that shit. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. Like, and they missed the whole damn picture. The whole picture. Right? Because they got it going on. Because something in their mind, some value, some belief they have within themselves that they doing better than every damn body else. But it's never them that's the problem. It's never them. It's always somebody else who is the problem. Right? I don't have time to talk about anybody else. I'm too busy enjoying my blessings. I'm too damn busy enjoying that which has been bestowed upon me. Yeah. I don't have time to talk about you. I'm not saying I don't have conversation about a particular situation, but I'm not sitting down talking about, well, I mean, I do the children, the children got some stuff because that's the parental stuff and you have the conversation. But I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about spousal, so I'm talking about, stuff outside of those parameters. Like, I'm not just sitting down worrying about what Lawrence, did, this, that, and the other. He needs to get his life together, so on. I'm not sitting down doing that. You know, do I have something to say about something that somebody has? Yeah, sure. But it's not a part of my life. It's not something I go hunting for. It's not something I go looking for. It's not something I sit down and just let marinate in my mouth so I can spew it upon somebody else's ears to start this chain of gossip. And then wonder why people at my door talking about, yo, come on outside. But you see some people, that's what they do every day. That's what happens in their lives every day. Every day. You see some people. Even when you look in the mirror. That's the one you avoid the most. The one you avoid the most is the one you really need to be having that conversation. Hey, girl, mom for life, what's happening? What's popping? You know what's dropping. Um. So yeah, so I look at those things, man, all the time, and it's so bothersome to me, and because of my personality, because of my years of wisdom, experiencing things and seeing things, through a different lens, as I continue to shed off the boy, as I continue to grow and observe myself more than I observe others, I observe how I impact others. Yeah, that's what I observe more than anything. I know how to move you in a direction toward me or away from me, and I do it tactfully, gracefully almost. Right? That's that Libra. Yeah, that's that Libra. But it's also part of my conditioning. See, the more you start gravitating towards right living, right, the more you start moving away from stuff, right, distancing yourself from stuff that don't do you no good. It just don't rest well in your spirit. See, we got people out there who haven't even gotten in touch with this spirit. They don't even know that they have a spirit. They just think that everything they do is dictated by a product of my environment. No, this is your environment. This is your environment. This is what you need to keep in order. See, because everything can fall apart all around you. All hell can break loose. All break out all around you. This house. When you have this house, this is all your house. This is your house. When you have this house in order, nothing matters. Nothing matters. And the more you nurture your spirit, the more you care for this house, the less you tolerate of the nonsense. Yeah, I don't even like I just cut you off altogether. I won't be disrespectful, none of that stuff like that. I just cut you off. I don't talk to you. I don't have a whole lot of rap for you, you know. When we cross paths, it's brief, it's cordial. It's no content that you need to know other than some basic general stuff. I'm not giving you anything about my personal life and what's happening. No, I'm doing good, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Starting the business up. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it's called such and such. Yeah, yeah. Because at first, I got to come through, and support my brother. You know, we got to stick together. You know, I ain't heard from your ass in about a year. Now you telling we got to stick together. Man, get out of here. Right? But I'm just saying that's the kind of game that that people kick on a regular basis. Everybody wants to kick game. What's up, man? Yo, what's happening? I'm gonna look out for you. Yeah, man. Oh, I'm gonna hook you up with dude. Yeah, he got you. This legend, not this legend, this legend exists in your mind. Exists in your mind. Why? Why have you created this legend in your mind? Who is it you're really trying to be? What are you trying to achieve? What? I mean, it's not making any sense to me. And for me, things have to make sense. And I'm going to ask you if it doesn't make sense. And some people get offended because I ask them, like, so what are you talking about? What exactly is it are you talking about? Right? Because I don't understand what you're saying, man. I don't understand why you're dressed like that. I don't what are you seeking to achieve by dressing like that? With your pants hanging off your behind, right? The nappy going on here, not the snappy nappy like it's really hooked up. The nappy, you just looking like anything, walking the streets. Where are you going with this? You know what I'm saying? What are you trying to achieve in life? Right? Because see, what you're doing right now is dictating your future. It's dictating your future. What you're doing right now, sitting on your behind, doing nothing but smoking weed every day, right? You're not participating in any aspect of your life. You're not going to school. You're not any on vocational programming. You quit your job because they weren't paying you enough. Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't that they weren't paying you enough. That's what you told the next employer that you were trying to get. What happened was you got mad because the boss told you to do your damn job. And you got an attitude about that. Yeah. You told the boss that. You weren't doing anything. No, man, I'm not doing nothing. That might do it. I'm here every day. He come in late, and y'all will be having him do it. Don't have me doing all this extra stuff. You mad now? Now you mad. Now your ass is unemployed. Now what? Now what? Now you're unemployed. Now you're mad at your boss because you came out your mouth with some slick talk, right? Got yourself fired. Your boss did their job. You weren't doing your job, so they did their job by firing you and giving somebody else the opportunity, to earn some ends, to be able to pay a bill because zero is always zero. When you don't have a job, when you don't have any kind of income coming in, it's zero. So you go back to being a zero because you make no contribution. You make no contribution. You're a soldier for Satan. That's what you are. You're just wreaking havoc, whispering sweet nothings, whispering nothing but chaos. That's what you actually are. I'm going to call it like it is because that's what you're doing. And then you find yourself in a relationship and you do the exact same thing to your significant other, and they're always the problem. Then you include children into the equation and you put that on their backs too. Now, I'm going to tell you the way it is. I'm going to tell you just the way it is, right? I've seen it, been there, done that, been shook that off. As a boy, you do those kind of things. But when you're pursuing, a man, whatever your definition, and we're going to do a whole nother show on man because, it's a whole bunch of nonsense out there that males are fed that make us where we are today because it's so damn confusing. I'm trying to be the man my mother wants me to be. I'm trying to be the man my father wants me to be. I'm trying to be the man that the homies on the corner want me to be. I'm trying to be the man that my woman wants me to be. I'm trying to be the man that my children want me to be. I'm just trying to be the man. I'm trying to be the man. I'm trying to be the man. Why not focus on being a good person? Because this got too confusing a long time ago when I fell and you told me to get up, stop acting like a little girl, and be a man. So again, we have to start looking at the layers of the shenanigans that we keep being fed every day. That fuel, that fan, the desire of our own chaotic being. Because we are. We're chaotic. We get so much bad information. See, because people don't focus on being good people. People focus on being something other than who they are because everybody wants to pick at them and throw something else into the pot and keep making you be who they want you to be. Then you don't know who you are. Then you create this person in your mind, this legend, right? And this is who you create right here. And you spend all this time in your head creating this person who you want to be, who you think they want you to be, who you think you are, and you still don't get it right. Because all of these things that are going into your mind of external contributions, you don't even have any room to expound upon the internal existence of yourself. You can't. Everything outside of you is telling you what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. I listen. I used to be a little boy. Yeah. So I know. I got so much information, different information from different male figures in my life. But I tell you one thing. When it came to my grandfather, Uncle Frank, Uncle John, Uncle Ray, they were all consistent. They were all consistent, right? In one area that was of the most significance to me: work ethic. Work ethic. Not saying they didn't have other consistencies, work ethic. My Uncle Frank had me exterminating with him. Saturday mornings, he'd go out. Saturday mornings. I'd have to get up in the morning, have to do my Saturday morning chores, and then we was out exterminating apartments. Yeah, he taught me how to fill the container, the equation of water and chemical, how to spray the unit, how to pump the unit, how to not spray people's furniture, not spray the walls and stuff like that. I'm 9 or 10 years old. I'm 63 now. I'm getting ready to retire this year, right? Yeah, I'm retiring this year. I'm pursuing other endeavors, right? Uh, Getting ready to blow back up Daddy's Right Here Inc., nonprofit family services organization that seeks to decrease father absenteeism. You've been watching the videos. That's part of it. I also do workshops, lectures, classes for individuals, professionals, community members. Yeah, all that, right? Plus the LLC. Yeah, Aline, LLC. You may have saw the intro before the show, but just check out your social media. But I'm saying all this to say that I lost my train of thought. We have to stay focused on our own growth and development, right? Or this is just going to be a, a world of madness. And you see indicators of it now. People just drive and walk and conduct their lives wandering aimlessly, right? But I've always had the guidance from those people that I named. Oh, don't let me forget Mr. Carl, the neighbor who lived in the back. Can't forget Mr. Carl because he played a significant role as well. A neighbor. who taught me, about cars, especially race cars. He had a 70 GTO, and I think his brother Cookie had a 69 Roadrunner, right? He taught me about Simonizing cars, taught me all about the cold water after the Simonizing, wiping it down, the seal and the shine. He taught me about headers, took me to Atco Speed, where I started learning about funny cars and dragsters, and started shooting pool at 13. At 13, I was hustling. That's how that was my biggest hustle, shooting pool on days that I can go out to the pool hall, shoot some pool. But I delved into the other stuff, the other marketable products, the supply and demand kind of thing that was going on at the time because that's what I was into. I get it. But sooner or later, you got to shake that thing off. You got to see the reality of what that kind of lifestyle brings. But so yeah, so I got the work ethic, and I grind, man. I grind and I grind and I grind and I grind. I don't sit back and say, well, this is not enough money, so on and so forth. Hey, it just doesn't work that way. I've just listen. You get to a point in life when you realize that it's not about the money; it's about living. You come up and you make all of this money. You get to the top of the food chain, and then when you look down the food chain, you see all your achievements, you know, but then you don't. Your family is look down the ladder. Your family is like maybe 300 yards away from but because you can't see them because you got everything, all your achievements here, and you missed so many things. You were there. You physically showed up at the birthday party. You physically showed up at the recital. Yeah, you did sit down and have dinner at the table, but were you there? And you start seeing that. You start seeing that, man. And you again, it's something else that you get further and further away from. Like it just ain't about the money. Yeah. I've taken a substantial pay cut uh, for peace. Yeah, for peace, for joy with my family. I got a 2 year old, right, who needs me to be present. And today I'm able to be more present emotionally to her than I were to my older children. I was physically available to them. Um, Emotionally, I was a mess. I was a wreck. So what I'm experiencing now with this 2 year old, I haven't had the opportunity. I didn't have the opportunity then because of the space that I was in. But you start pursuing peace more than the dollar, because at the end of the day, the you make all of this money, and then you don't have any peace, and then you put yourself in a position where you done bought all of these things, right? These big, humongous $250,000 houses and things like that. Now, who's going to manage it? Who's going to manage this $250,000 house? Because Social Security is not going to pay you that much money, so you still have to continue to work. But you put yourself. Some people put themselves in a position where they have acquired so much unpaid material things, and then they can't afford it. Then they lose it all. And in the meantime, along the way, you lost good relationships too, right? You have to begin to see the value in the relationships right now that you have with people. But in order for you to do that, you have to see where you're pushing people to the sidelines. You push them to the sidelines and wonder why they ain't on the field with you, because you done pushed everybody to the sidelines because of your bad behavior, right? So this article that I just want to, I just want to hit on this morning is 5 ways to avoid drama. Unnecessary drama takes you away from living life to the fullest. It's by Abigail Brenner, MD. Right? Drama often accompanies major life changes and transitions. Unnecessary drama happens when people turn small issues into large problems. Drama is often created by those who need attention and excitement in their life. Strategies to avoid drama include creating healthy boundaries and limiting your time with drama seekers. All right, so these are key points that the article, hits on, and they're just key points in regards to, what it is that I was just talking to you about. All of these things are significant because as you, encounter life's changes, you encounter life on life's terms, right? There are some people who just don't need to be in that space with you anymore because they haven't shaken off the boy, they haven't shaken off the girl, they still haven't solidified any kind of a foundation in their own lives where they have some direction. It's like a fish out of water, just flopping around till eventually, they get tired of flopping. They stay stuck on that one side, and the sun begins to bake them. And next thing you know, they're on somebody's plate or in the mouth of a predator, right? Because that's ultimately what happens. Everybody can't go. Unnecessary drama happens. It says here when people turn small issues. It's a small issue. It's not a problem. It's a small issue, right? It's a small issue. You turn it into a problem, right? So a small issue like smoking in the house. And this is for any smoker. This is, for instance, when I was a kid, my mother didn't smoke. She didn't drink. So she knew when I smoked cigarettes in the house. She knew. She walked right, as soon as she opened the door, bam, it hit her. Right? She told me, don't smoke in my house. I'm spraying all kind of stuff thinking it's killing the odor. But for a non-smoker, it's easy to pick the scent up, right? I smoke cigars, right? I don't smoke it in the house anymore, right? Because it keeps an odor in the house much longer than cigarettes, right? And it's very potent scent that cigars have, and you have fabric curtains and things of that sits into that and all those other things. So I smoke on the patio now. I like sitting in front of the TV, smoking a cigar, feet up on the oven, and having whatever my twist is that day. But that's convenient for me. It's comfortable for me, right? But if it's not convenient for another, whether they say something or not, because people who don't smoke shouldn't have to be subjected to your secondhand smoke, regardless of who pays all the bills, regardless of how enjoyable it is to you and how you ain't hurting nobody. You actually are hurting somebody, but it's a small issue, right? So I moved my behind out to the patio, right? She's never asked me. She's never said anything. One of the things I said that I was going to do was stop smoking in the house when the baby was born. The baby is born. The baby is now 2 years old, right? I also said I was going to stop. That's still a war. I got patches. I'm going through the process. So if you stop smoking, don't go back. I stopped from 1994 to 2005. Went to St. Thomas. Damn, I done smoked everything else. They were chopping up this tobacco. It smells so good. It looks so good. 2005 to now, it's been a fight to stop. But I'm still working. But the point that I'm making is it's a small issue. There's another space that you can smoke in, right? It's not a matter of what you inconveniencing me out. It's my house. Nah, happy wife, happy life, right? You got to look at other things to make others in the house happy. As long as you are spending time making others unhappy in the same environment you live in, you're selfish. It's what you're being. You're being selfish because it's something that you can just like eliminate. It's a small issue. I'll go. You know what? I'll go sit in the car. I can go ahead, jam, turn up the music, bounce in the car, and smoke. My cigar. You do that when you go to the hotel because you can't smoke in the hotel. You go stand out there on the parking lot, walk around the parking lot, walk around the damn building. Right? It's all about perception. It's about what you think you can get away with and how you can just treat somebody because you feel like you're deserving of it, but not looking at are they deserving of what it is you're dishing out to them. So, and again, and it goes that drama is often created by those who need attention and excitement. So you got to keep creating that environment. You got to keep creating that conflict. Why don't you just like stop doing it? There's a reason. Because there's attention, there's conflict, there's confrontation, it's conversation for some. That's how some just get along. That's how some get along in their lives. They need that. See, they can't have conversations, healthy conversations about things, toward problem solving, resolution of things. They don't live that kind of life. They live the kind of life where they talk about other people, right? And you're one of those other people, so you're not exempt from the thrashing that they give others with their tongue, right? Of their selfish tongue. You're not going to escape that, right? But they always need to have it. The focus always have to be on them. They have to be the center of attention. So they create these situations. They create situations unnecessarily, not provoked by anything. They want the attention, so they simply do something to instigate, to agitate a situation. That's what they do. That's who they are. This allows them to keep focus on everything around them and not their own conduct. They know what they're doing. They intentionally did it. They intentionally went and put their jacket, over top of yours, right? When they just saw you neatly place your jacket over the chair, they take their jacket and they just stow their jacket on top of yours. They know you just took the time to neatly, but they need the attention. And then the first thing they say when you say something to them is, first thing they do is they get offended. And their response is, well, my bad. Oh, I'm sorry I put it on your little prissy. See, now you're being offended. Now you're being offensive. Now you're being disrespectful, right? And when you call them on that, now they're the victim. But they knew what they were doing in the beginning. See, when you're around these kind of people, you have to see this behavior for what it really is. And I tell you, when people distribute that kind of behavior to me, when people present that kind of behavior to me, I don't care who you are. I don't deal with you. I only deal with you when necessary. I don't have a whole lot of rap for you because I know where you're coming from. You're dishonest. You're disrespectful. I know my tolerance level for that kind of behavior, right? I know that if you come at me with it and I don't correct it, I don't set boundaries, I know how I'm going to respond or react to it. You don't want my tongue to get entered into this equation because I just become damn right rude, right? And I know that about me. And because I know that about me, I stay away from people who always got some kind of drama going, who are always slick with their mouth. I don't listen because you can catch me like anybody else. Anybody's capable. You can catch me right in the moment of that space, right? You can catch me right there because the chain is like a chain, right? And I always have to find the weak link within my own chain. And I know what they are. Everything in my life, everything that I've lived throughout my life is part of that chain. All my traumas, all my conflicts, all my controversies are in that chain. So as the chain is turning, just like the world, at different times, those past behaviors, those past attitudes and beliefs come across the forefront of your mind. Yeah, they get a turn. They're looking for an opportunity. People call it Satan, I call it self, but it's looking for the opportunity to come out and play. And at any given time, you can catch me in that space. You can catch me in a space where that link shows up right there, and you're slick with your mouth. And just like that, we got a problem. And that's what it talks about here. It's a small issue. It's a small issue, right? Don't come to me with this. Don't come to me this way. Don't come to me that way. And we good. Right now, it's just a small issue. But you want to keep pressing the idea. And it's not a good thing for either of us. For either of us. I'm not so far removed that I can't grab you by your throat and slam you to the ground. Oh, no. I'm not so far removed from that. I'm not so far removed that I can't cuss you out, call you outside of your name, and go get me a damn cup of coffee and sit down to the computer and do some lab work. No, I'm not. It's still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. I just make different decisions today. I make better decisions today. It still exists. I'm still capable of doing it. And if I don't keep an eye on myself, because what happens is people, drama driven people, they keep gnawing at you and gnawing at you and gnawing at you and gnawing at you. And then it gets to the point where no matter what part of that link comes to the forefront of your mind, you have just developed a level of intolerance that is going to put you in a place where you don't want to be. That's their goal. Remember, they whisper and they withdraw. They whisper and they withdraw. They come with the chaos. They come with the nonsense. They come with the shenanigans, and then they withdraw. They've already set the stage. They've already fed your spirit with negativity. And every time you see them, your spirit gets aroused. Not like a penis does for the woman, but like the beast, the carnivore, not the vegetarian, the one that want to shred some stuff up. That person comes out, and now they running and crying foul. They want to cry foul, right? You have to look at the people you gravitate towards, the people who you have around you, and do they really serve a purpose for who you're trying to be as a person? As a person, we've lost focus on trying to be a good person. We're focusing on being better than, looking better than, having a bigger behind than, smelling better than, talking better than. We've lost focus. My focus is on being a good servant, not some holy roller, but just you know talking to people respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make some a positive contribution to the life of another. But people who are not seeking that don't they listen? Not only do they not deserve it, they don't respect it. But it's an expectation that God has of me to treat people with kindness, respect, without enmity between us. That's the expectation. And that's the expectation that I have to put upon myself on a regular basis. That it's real easy to ball up. Real easy. What are the consequences for that? So if you've ever been in my circle, right, and I don't have a whole lot of interaction with you, there's a reason why. It's to protect you and me. Because I just don't have time for it. I don't make time for it. I'd rather invest a little bit of energy and prepare myself to be in an environment where you're going to be so I can my spirit can be stable and I can be good with other than me investing my spirit and leering at you across the table like I just want to just punch you in your mouth. I'm being real, man. I'm not so far removed from that stuff that I'm not capable of doing. We're all capable. I'm just telling you, from perspective of being that one who didn't have the boy shed it off. The one that had the layer of the boy who acted that way, who was more capable then of doing those kind of things. I'm less capable now, because it's wisdom, time doesn't mean I'm incapable. And you have to be aware of those things because people who are not seeking to change or improve their lives will drag you to hell because that's where they're going. That's where they're living. Hell is right here on earth. There are people who put themselves in alignment for being in hell. But all the while, they're blaming you. They're blaming you. So, the article. Life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes these ups and downs are sweeping, dramatic events In fact, drama often accompanies major life changes or transitions. These really big, monumental times in our lives affect us deeply, often changing the way we live, the course and direction of where we go, and what we do. For the most part, these are normal and happen to most of us. Then there are the dramas of everyday life, the way we see life, the way we process life, the way we've learned to deal with life from those around us. Some people view everything they do as incredibly challenging, monumental in its perceived outcome, and often fraught with catastrophic results if things go awry. So much of it is dependent on how people have experienced life as it unfolds. Some people just have that dramatic flair about them. Some people need drama to feel alive. Regardless of why people choose to process life in a dramatic way, the bottom line is that some people need to turn what most of us might consider very small issues into major problems. Before you try to figure out how to avoid other people's drama, it's important to ask yourself if you crave drama and why you might be attracted to it. If you crave drama and why you might be attracted to it. For example, do you find it exciting to get embroiled in other people's intrigues? Do you like creating drama because you get attention and draw other people into your life? Does drama make you feel important? Identifying that piece about yourself may help you understand why drama seems to follow you. Once you've figured out if you're part of the problem and what you can do about that, you can then focus on ways to avoid other people's drama. Here are some points to consider. Assess your relationships. And this just been talking about all that. What kind of people are you attracted to? And who do you draw into your life? Are these are there several people in your circle that need a lot of attention? Or maybe it's just one person. Huh? Who do you talk to every day? What do you talk to them about? How often do you talk to them in the course of the day? How long do you spend with them on the phone? When you come away from the conversation, what do you feel? You feel some sense of accomplishment? You feel like you achieved something? You feel like I told them. You feel like, well, they know now. What do you feel? Think about it. A lot of times you walk away, if you're walking away from a conversation, a long drawn out conversation about nothing, and you walk away like you've achieved something, that's a problem. This is not an issue. That's a problem. And the problem is you, because you need that. You need to sit down and gossip. You need to sit down and argue and fight and tell somebody how you feel about something. You need that. That's why you do it. Because if it didn't exist, or if it's not something that you wanted, why would you be on the phone with somebody? And that's what you're talking to. Why would you be hanging out with somebody? That's all they do the whole time. You can't even have a good fun. Y'all supposed to be going out to dinner, enjoying food. The whole time you sitting there, you're not even enjoying the food. You're ordering food. You're ordering beverages. You're drinking. You're eating, but you have no idea what you just had. And you'll sit there and say, well, it was all right. No, because you were juiced. The dopamine was running in you to sit down and just gossip. That's what it was doing. Dopamine was just popping off all inside of you, just excited. Because you had an opinion that you wanted somebody to hear about some damn body else's life. About how messed up their lives are. About what they need to do to get themselves together. You ain't got a damn thing. Nothing. Nothing. So where's the problem? Number 2, consider how much you interact with other people. Be fully present. Learn to listen and observe before you jump in, especially if the interaction or conversation becomes reactive and emotional. If someone is being overly dramatic, step back and distance yourself. That could be emotionally and psychologically or physically if need be. Don't offer advice or solutions, especially if you haven't been asked. Downplay the drama and try to change the course of the conversation to something more neutral. Listen, you got to back out of it. Back out of it. Like I said, I know when it's coming. I know when it's coming before it even starts moving in my direction. I already know. I know how you are. I know who you are. I don't believe anything you say. I know that you're manipulative. I know that you're coming with some stuff. I know you're coming with game. I see the game before it's coming. I already know who you are. You'll be buddy, buddy, chummy, chummy, and at the blink of an eye, you don't get your way about a thing, you snap it. Next thing you know, you start having a conversation about, you're not talking about you and your role and what you did. You're talking about what the other person did and how they made you feel. You're not talking about what you did to them. Yeah, well, if he wouldn't have said such and such, I wouldn't. That, that's what you choose. That's a choice that you make. The small issue is that you need to be looking at how, when you're interacting with that person, things tend to go. Why would you be hanging around with that person? Why would you be around that person? Right? In that capacity. Some people you have to work with, but why would you be engaging that person in anything other than a professional aspect? You need to know how to be a professional. It ain't personal. This is business. Right? So before you open your mouth, just observe before you jump in, right? Because like I said, there are some people who just real reactive, right? They're real emotional about things. They're real attitudinal about things. No matter what it is that you say to them, they yeah, but they didn't have to. They're not even trying to calm themselves down. They're trying to convince you why they are the victim in this situation, and it's not it's not something that they're responsible for. That's what they do. That's what they do. And you spend your time trying to tell them, yeah, but you need to look at, no, now you're the enemy. You're the enemy now. That's what they do. This is what drama-driven people do. They don't want a solution. They want a problem. They want the problem. They don't want the solution. They want everybody in the world to shut the hell up. They want to be heard. They want to be center of attention. They want you to understand, and they don't want to understand any damn thing. Right? You need to step back. Get out of that. I'm telling you, listen, I don't care if we are seated at a paying table. I will sit as far away from you as possible. And if the seating requires me to sit closer to you, know that you will see a lot of my back, the side of my face, my shoulder, the back of my head, me not being at the table, because I already know who's at the table. I already know who's at the table. I already know who you are. I am not going to mess with you at all. You could be standing there amidst 4 people. I would shake 3 of their hands and keep on moving and be good with that. And be good with that. It won't be a secret that I don't mess with you. I'm not going to try to keep it a secret. I'm not going to try to just go along and get along. I'm going to let you know in my body language that I don't care for you. I'm going to let you know that respectfully. You're going to know I do not care for you. So just consider how you interact with other people, right? It takes a lot of courage to downplay the situation, right? So you can change the course of the conversation to something else, something more neutral. It takes a lot of courage to do that because we often get caught up in, we have to make people understand our perspective, let people know where we're coming from. No, I don't have to let you know anything. If you wanted to know, you would ask me. And if you ask me, I'm going to tell you. And if you're not okay with what I'm going to tell you, that's not my issue. That's yours. You can get caught up and turn it into a problem if you like. But it's not my issue; it's your issue because you asked the question, and I'm gonna answer it, and I'm gonna answer it the way I want to. I might tell you it's none of your damn business. I might tell you, hey, listen, to each his own. Downplay, everybody has their own way of doing things. It's a simple response. You don't what regardless of what your head is telling you in that moment. Ain't that deep. Ain't that deep. Number 3 on this list: focus on your own life. When your own life should be most important to you, it's essential for your own well-being and growth to take care of your own business first and foremost. The more you do that, the less time you have to care about other people's business. Right? So the old saying, mind your business, right, is very legitimate when it comes to you staying the course of where you're going or where you want to go, right? Or where you want to go. It says it. The more you do that, the less time you have to care about other people's business. I don't have time for nobody else's business. Even when I'm on social media, I'm on there for my business. Right? First and foremost, I'm taking care of me first and foremost. I'm posting my craft. I'm posting Daddy's right here. Now I'm posting Aline. I'm posting Sabir Aline music. I'm posting this and I'm posting that. I'm not telling you that I was just over in Tampa for a week. That's none of your business. If you want to know how I'm doing, you pick up the damn phone and ask me. That's something you would know. I'm not need to be on social media telling you that. I don't need to be on social media venting for what? The hell you care? I'm being real about this, folks. You got your own life you trying to live. You shit. Well, do something about it, Sabir. Do something about it. That's simple. The article says in number 3, some of us believe that being a good human means that you need to sacrifice your time and effort in order to help others. That's true to some degree. It's important to care for other people and what happens to them. But never, 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 never at the expense of yourself and your own well being. I just came from that party. I was in that party from 1994 to, yeah, recent, recent years. Been there, done that, got the t shirt. You can't take a person away from a place that they want to be. That's where they want to be. They're not going to change until they're willing, wanting, desiring, seeking to change. They're going to always be that way. If they were loud, obnoxious, and rude yesterday, they're going to be that way today, tomorrow, next week, next year, until they see a reason to be different. In the meantime, you have to move away from that relationship. It's not going to do you any good. The people who I interact with on a regular basis are people who offer my spirit, right, comfort, right? Period. The people who I have to work with, the people who I have to engage in everyday life, they that's not their role within my life. Their role is for them to do them, and sometimes their roles bring discomfort to me. I have to be the one to seek a solution for that issue, right? That means that I have to continue to focus on me, my own personal growth and development, right? And what it is and where it is that I'm going. I don't make time for the nonsense. When I see myself getting absorbed by it, getting attracted to it, gravitating towards it, hey, I need to back off. Because once I start latching on to that, then I can become real crude, right? With my attitude. And you don't want that. But it's dangerous for me because it brings forth a part of me that I don't want to free because it got cousins. You let that part free. You got little cousins that come out because they want to play too. You have to know these things about yourself. So if that's who you have in your life and that's all that's going on in your life, you have to first ask yourself, what's really, happening here? Why are you in it? And if you're in it and you're only complaining or always complain about the other person, it ain't them, it's you. It's you. Number 4 in that list, boundaries. Boundaries, boundaries. Creating boundaries allows you to maintain control of how you relate to others. Gaining clarity about what you will do and what you don't and what you won't do helps you hold your ground and prevents you from being coached into entering into other people's intrigues and drama. Establishing boundaries sends a signal to others that you have your limits about how involved you are likely to become. When you set boundaries, you are better able to distance yourself from others, less likely to engage in their issues and attach to their outcomes. See, when you have somebody who's always coming, with the game, they're always coming with the shenanigans, right? Of talking about other people. You already know this is what they do. They're not doing anything about their own life. They got everything to say about your life and mine, right? Then and you gotta cut it off. You can't show interest in it. Like if that's what you always doing, if you're always gossiping and you're always complaining and you're always talking about somebody else, I'm not gonna be very attentive. I'm not gonna be disrespectful. You can see it that way, but I don't have to indulge in that. I don't sit back and gossip. So why do I need to sit back and listen to your gossip? Why do I need to sit back and listen to you complaining about an issue that you can fix yourself, but you choose not to because it's easy to blame somebody else? I'm just not going to deal with you. You can't coach me into that. Like I said, life is a chain. And at any point in time, that link can come into the forefront of my mind, and that's the space I'm in at the moment, and you can get it. You can get all the smoke you want, right? But my practice is to disengage myself from those people, to not get drawn into, that whole thing. Number 5, develop strategies. Sometimes, especially when we're younger, we get pulled into a situation that is so fraught with drama, sometimes consuming, so stressful, so frustrating that we are left exhausted and depleted. But ultimately, it could actually be a good learning experience. What it may teach us is what to look out for. The kind of person that may try to trigger or try to engage us in their drama, and what we should be prepared to do in the event that they try to bring drama into our lives. Remember that you can't change or fix people. Let me say that a little louder for the people in the front. Remember that you can't change or fix people. They have to want to do this themselves, but often maintaining a dramatic stance gets them more of what they think they want, and they will find and or make drama wherever they go. So don't envision yourself as the savior. Stay neutral, logical, and unemotional. In other words, don't react. Getting people involved, emotional, and excited is the goal of drama seekers. And the more, the merrier. Worst comes to worst, physically distance yourself. Remove yourself while high drama is unfolding and things are unraveling. If necessary, remove yourself from the relationship for good. For good. Some of y'all want to spend time in the same relationship dealing with the same stuff over and over again because you're comfortable with it. You know how to deal with it. That's what you tell yourself. But you're tired of it. You're sick of it. You have more days where you're reacting to that drama than you have good days. But you tell yourself it just ain't that bad. How bad does it have to be that it goes from being an issue to a problem? in an unresolved problem. I don't want that in my life. I'm not accepting that in my life. I'm not accepting it on my spirit. If that's where you riding to, you ride that course by yourself. I'm not riding with you. Regardless, I don't care who you are. Family member, right? Significant other, child. My well-being comes first. Because if I'm not right, I can't be good for anybody, let alone myself. Right? But we're going to show each other respect. And if you're coming with drama, conflict, and confrontation, it's going to be a short-lived conversation. Real simple. And like it says in the article, there's no sense of being emotional. And that's the difficult piece, in not being emotional in situations where, you have to be around that person regularly. Sometimes it's people who live in your very home. It's your children, right? So you have to learn how to control your own emotions with that situation. The more time I spend caring for myself, nurturing myself, right? Staying on that course, the less time I have to become emotionally involved in that circumstance. It doesn't mean that it ain't going to irritate you, that it's not going to be annoying, but the less you focus on it because you already know what it is, the better it becomes for you. The better it becomes for them too, because they just don't know. They just don't know what's in that cage, and they want to keep rattling the cage. But sometimes that's the attention that some people want. They need that. They need to get cussed out. Yeah, that's what they pursue. Now, don't get it twisted because I know one of you out there going to say, "Oh, you condone domestic violence." No, I'm telling you that when both parties see that there's a problem, they see that there's an issue, and they don't solve the issue, it's going to be a problem. And that's where that fire, that fuel fire comes into play. And that's when you have catastrophic situations. That's when people end up dead. That's when people end up in prison. That's when people end up separating from their families, right? Because neither side, you know, not only made a decision, but took action in bringing resolve to that issue and not allowing it to be a problem. Okay. Okay. Don't wait till a person gets fed up because when a person is fed up, it's not going to be a good outcome because you're going to get all the smoke, all of it. So if you see your significant other, gravitating away from you, and you want to really acknowledge and assess what's been going on between the two of you, stop looking for it to be infidelity. Stop looking at it, for being, falling out of love with you. Look at it from the perspective of what it really is. They're just as tired as you in some cases. You've dealt with it long enough. They're going to always be that way. You have to make a decision and then act on your decision. You can't deciding that this is not a good relationship and remain. If you decide that this is not what you want, if you decide that this has to end, you need to take action. Don't let anybody else dictate the action for you. Because as long as they continue to act that way and you continue to react that way, they have power over you. And people who are drama driven, that's what they want. They sit down and just, let me see him act this time. Let me see him act. It's like you're a puppet on a string. That's what you actually are. They sit down, they do it intentionally. They need that. They need that attention. They need that focus. They need that dopamine going on inside of them so they can sit back and act out. And then they can cry foul. They need that. It's entertaining. Think I'm lying? You know I'm telling the truth. You do it. You don't want to change you. You want to change everybody around you. And you wonder why you've been in 55 different relationships that have all failed. And not none of them did you sit down and say, well, it was my fault. I, yeah, it's me. Hey, listen, as always, I appreciate you guys' support. You can be doing anything else on a Saturday morning. You're sitting here and listening to my mouth for a whole hour. But I appreciate all of you. Make sure you look for uh, the advertisement for a lean limited liability company. Best products. These things that you're seeing right now uh, on social media. These cups. These uh, man, I can't even think what the hell they're called. Uh, but anyway, mugs, uh, shirts, uh, water bottles, uh, family pictures. Inscribed laser inscribed into plastics. Uh, oh hell, you'll see the advertisement before the show ends. I've been up working, on the project. Finally got the advertisement. I finally finalized the logo. So I'm a little exhausted. But make sure you look for those things, man, because they're coming. You won't find you won't find anything remotely close to what you're going to get from Aline. All this money you spending on them water things and coffee mugs, and they all look the same. And there's nothing real fantastic about it. It's a trend. It's what you're looking for right now. But I'm going to give you, Aleem is going to give you, Aleem LLC is going to give you a whole better look, more than what you're getting. You deserve so much more. So just make sure that keep an eye out for the product because it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Let me show you the advertisement here for Aleem.